Hey everybody, Steve again. Wolfpack. Yeah, sitting here. I got another video out, and I have a reference here today. It's given to my father. His wife. I think his wife gave it to me a long time ago. I read it, but I don't know where I put it. And my daddy gave me another one because this was a really good article. It's by a guy. His name is Dr. Lawrence Britt. And he wrote an article here. It was about fascism. Well, I'm not a big fascism fan. I'm not a fascist, but I got to looking over the points that he made on this video. He has a book out. It's called Fascism. Fascism Anyone is what it's called. So that's where I'm getting my references from. So there's no copyright and shit. Can't complain. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to be making some more videos, and this is just one of the series that I'm making regarding this issue. These are things that I think that we've all noticed, but we haven't noticed them all at one time, and I'm just going to give you the briefly. I may get through all of them. I probably won't, but I'll make a couple of them, and I'll put my input on it. Once again, if you like the station, you want to put input, press subscribe. That lets me know that I'm getting people. It makes me motivated to do more videos, so we can open up the conversation. Now, I know YouTube says you can't capture somebody's attention in 2 minutes and you lost them. So let's get right into it here. 14 characteristics of fascism. Go to the first one. Powerful and continuing nationalism. Fascism regimes tend to make constant use of patriotic mottos, slogans, symbols, songs, and other paraphernalia. Y'all thought I was going to say pedophile, didn't you? I get mine out of the gutter. Paraphernalia. Flags are everywhere, as flags flying in simple clothes and in public displays. Now, with that being said, we are in a place, and maybe I fall victim to this, but I have in the backyard, my back fence back here where I have my dogs, I have a flag for each service that I've actually served under, the American flag, the POW flag, and then I got a little Texas flag that says "Come and Take It." That's from the Gonzales area. So Gonzales, anyway, Texas. So maybe I am patriotic to the stance that maybe I'm overboard on being patriotic, but I'm sorry. I guess you got to believe in something, and I believe that this country is worth fighting for. I believe the people that are here are worth fighting for, and I believe that public displays of patriotism, we need to be aware of. However, the fact is that I wear what I wear represents who I am to this day. So right or wrong, I see their point, but I don't want to admit that I've fallen into that level yet, but maybe I have. But it's something I need to take a look at. Something that I spent 10 years of my life defending, and something I spent 10 years of my life believing in, and I guess I refuse not to believe it. I mean, that's the only thing that keeps me going on when I'm asking myself now, in this world today that we live in called the United States of America. I ask myself, a lot of veterans who are with me and say, what the hell do we fight for? Or I fought for you, dummy. So I think that's just a general wake-up call for everybody. But as I said, that's just vets talking, man. That's just vets talking. It's not even derogatory or anything. It's just the way we talk. If you talk like a vet, though, sooner or later, you're in the United States, you're going to get in trouble because we have a way of saying things. We have our own language, and we have our own way of showing things. And you know what? People find that offensive. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I have a comment on that. If you find that whatever I say out of my mouth, because it's not something that you believe in or something that you find offensive, well then guess what? I got a right to say it just like you got the right to say whatever you want to say, and by God, I can say it because I've been shot at. That offended me. Now the next one, disdain for the regulations of human rights. Now this is a big one here. Because of fear of enemies and the need for security, the people in fascist regimes are persuaded that human rights can be ignored in certain cases because of need. The people tend to look the other way, or even approve of torture, summary executions, assassinations, and long incarcerations. Let's touch on this a little bit. I go backwards a little bit. We're number 2 in the world. That includes Jupiter, Mars, and all the planets in between. We're number 2 in the universe in incarcerations. Land of the free. Number 2 is assassinations. How many have we seen? Well, let's just look at them. Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Abraham Lincoln. We are filled with the example of assassinations of some people that are in power. This fits right along with the fascism thing, because the fact is, if they don't believe as you do, then guess what? Then we'll kill you. And we'll change that whole train of thought. Keep in mind that those that have been caught may or may not be the ones who actually, they may be the ones who took the shot, but they may not be the only person that's involved in it. We look at this now with a lot of school shootings and one of these at Mandalay Bay, and the one that strikes me the difference, I think you guys would really like to see this, was the Dallas police shooting. Happened about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Anyway, if you watch that video, it gives you a perfect example of what lack of training does to police officers. But then I could digress a little bit. Summary executions. Well, right now, we're in a fight right now to stop, in most states, in a lot of states, to stop executions. The reason why that we're stopping executions is because we have lost faith in our judicial system. Our judicial system is actually allowing people who have not committed a crime to be convicted because they don't have the wherewithal or the means to put up a proper defense. What do I mean by that? If you're charged with a serious offense, a felony, even a misdemeanor, you have to go and you're going to have to hire an attorney. Now, for whatever case you're going to be charged for, the average, just for a misdemeanor case that you're going to spend, if found not guilty, is going to be $20,000 after all push comes to shove. These numbers go up for felons or serious criminals. No, we got to pay to put them on trial. So we want to make it necessary. This is the reason why we have habeas corpus and we have speedy rights laws, because we want to get them to the trial as fast as possible so we can stop the problem. The appeals process, okay, it's there to avoid these kind of things, but the appeals process is a joke, because the fact is that they don't really care. They just review what the case was before and really actually don't even consider any new evidence, unless it blatantly hits them in the face. And if it's blatantly going to affect them in the next election. Sad, but that's the way it works. Racial tension, I'll even go further than this, is that threats to different races. Now I'm going to even go further than that. It's threats to different individuals or different beliefs. It goes through, it's not a black-white thing. It's not a black-rail thing. It's not a black-brown thing. It's not that. We're doing that to ourselves. The government, okay, is the ones who stir in the pot. If you'll notice, any time that there's a shooting, the first thing they want to do now is they want to identify if he's a Muslim, or if he's black, or if he's an illegal Mexican. I don't mean Mexican in a bad way. I'm not supposed to say Hispanic Mexican, but anyway, where I live in Texas, and everybody's Mexican, and everybody wants to be called Mexican. They don't want to be called Hispanic. I ain't Hispanic. I live in Texas. Okay, got it, bro. But that's the reasoning behind all this, is because the fact is that we allow them to do this. We allow them to separate Southern Baptists from Catholics. We allow them to separate us from Methodists. We allow that to be put into our brain to where all Methodists are bad. All Catholics are bad. All Southern Baptists are bad. Yes, every group of people. We used to call it the 10% when I was in the Marine Corps and the Army. There are 10% of the individuals that are going to make you look bad. 10% of the unit is going to actually be unacceptable and not up to par and buck against the system. It's a 10% ratio we utilize to figure out how many people we actually need and who we're going to replace when we replace them, so we can actually get that 10% gone. So we can be a more efficient unit. Why doesn't that principle apply here when we're actually looking around at individual groups? A white, I don't mean, okay, whatever race you are, if you see another race, what you're going to do is you're going to actually go through the stereotypes of how they actually are, or how that person is perceived to be, before you even know him. There's certain individuals of all colors I don't particularly care to hang out with because that's just not my thing. I'm white Southern. I got an accent. Do you think do you think that I'm any kind of popular in any of these communities? They've already made their conception they already made their decision about me, because the fact is, you know what, I'm white. I'm like everybody else. Well, you know what, I asked one guy, so he's like all the rest of them. I said, well, you met all of them? You met every white person in Texas, have you? You talked to every white person in Texas. So how the hell can you say we're like the rest of them? Well, you do the same things. You like to hunt and fish, and you like to hunt gators, and you like to chase women, you like to get out in the swamps, you like to drink beer. Yeah? I don't bitch about you when you're smoking pot. What I do and who I am are two different things from what my color is. My color doesn't represent who I am. It doesn't represent what's in here, and it doesn't represent what's in here. I learned that in all places, the military, because I learned one thing. Maybe the American people can actually realize is this: it don't make no damn bit of difference what color that son of a gun is who's watching your six, because you're counting on him to save your ass, and in return, you're going to do the same. After that trust has started to provide itself to each other, these individuals, then they start to realize that they're not that different. It's just their culture they grew up in or their environment. It's the way they were raised. It's not who they are. So I about had enough of this racial shit. Yeah, there are racist people out there. Damn right. Let's work together and let's get rid of them. We don't need that type around here. They're part of the problem. They're not part of the solution. I ask when somebody tells me, well, you're part of them. Well, then who in the hell is them? Who is them? Let me go talk to them, because I don't know who in the hell you talk to. You're just like them. Well, who is them? I mean, well, y'all do this. I wasn't there. Well, you're a white guy. You probably agree with it. No, I didn't agree with it. Maybe sometimes you can think about somebody who has an opinion that actually not based on color. I think I try to do that. First thing I look at is a man is I don't give a damn what color you are. I look at you in the eyes and say, hey, are you real or not? You see it. The way you talk, the way you carry yourself, or whatever, that's your own damn business. But I guarantee you one thing, I don't care what color you are. Pull up your damn pants, or I'm going to say something. I think that's damn disgusting. And that ain't being racial. That's every damn color you want to be. I seen a Martian come down there with hands hanging around his knees. I whoop his ass. Okay. Identification of enemies, scapegoats as a unifying cause. Now, I think I already went over that one. I'm sorry. Supremacy of the military. Even when there are widespread domestic problems, the military is given a disproportionate amount of government funding, and the domestic agenda is neglected. Soldiers in the military service are glamorized. Yeah. Okay. Let me address this, and I hate to do this, but I'm going off of what I've learned and where I've got my education, and I'm not trying to use the vet card. A lot of people in the South nowadays are saying, well, you're a vet, you're just using the vet card. PTSD is made up. I've heard it all. But let me tell you how, since this touches on the military, let me tell you how this does touch on the military. Well, the military is getting screwed because the fact is that all that money that you're funding to us ain't getting to the troops. You're right. Is the military concerned over foreign problems over domestic problems? Yeah, we are, because that's what we're here for. We're not supposed to. We are the military. We're not the police. Our job is to protect and defend all enemies, foreign and domestic. Until the American people tell us who the enemy is inside our nation, we don't know. We can't act on it. Until the people actually recognize that, no, we do have a problem. We need somebody to step in. Well, that's what you have the National Guard for. That is a chain of progression. The National Guard is what they were created for, is to create and protect the individuals within the United States. Period. They shouldn't have to call the Army in. That's a coup d'etat. In the military, we're taught, or every military person you're taught, you do not fire on civilians. You do not fire on citizens. You do not fire on your fellow Americans. I don't care what their beliefs. You do not fire on them. As a non-commissioned officer in the United States Marine Corps and the United States Army, I was instructed in those two schools that I went to become an NCO that if an officer ever ordered me or my men to shoot an American citizen, I was more than, it would be it's my responsibility to pull my weapon out and shoot him if he ever gives that order. That's how serious it is. Now, talk about the money we spend on the military. We spend it, okay. Well, I take it from the other side because where I was at my farm, it's called a forward operating base, was actually in Kabul. Our mechanics worked overtime. I mean, they worked almost 16, 17 hours a day just to keep those damn pieces of shit Humvees we had working. And shit. And they were filling up the bullet holes when we came in. We didn't have brakes on one of them for 6 weeks because we had waiting on a part. I drove up to, we drove up a convoy up to Bagram Air Force Base, and I looked at the Air Force. I seen the damn Air Force, and there was a whole damn parking lot. I mean, a used parking lot, bigger than a used car lot, like 3 used car lot, bigger than a car lot put together, 3 of them. All they had was brand spanking Humvees, but we couldn't use them. They were reserved. Who? I don't know who they would go to. They never moved. All they did was take them off the plane, put them back on the plane, take them back over here. I don't know. So it's a two-way street. So when you talk about the military, who are you actually talking about? Are you talking about the officers and the ones who actually reap the benefits from war, go on to political aspirations? Are you talking about that non-commissioned officers in charge with charge of 10, 11 other people that would underneath him? That you promised his mama, you promised his mama that you would take him or her home. And you got to make sure little Johnny ain't doing something stupid so you can honor that. But, yes, very easily, the military can be construed. Eisenhower said it best. We need to be very cautious when we deal with our military and their component. I can't remember the actual word. I was going to quote it, but damn it, on my tongue, I couldn't say it. But anyway. Anybody that's, but in other words, anybody supports Bell Helicopter, boom, helicopters. Mattel makes freaking AR-15s. They make, I make a lot of parts for the freaking M4s that I fought with. There's money to be made off the government. There's somebody making it, but it ain't getting down to the troops. So I agree with that statement because the fact is that the military is not being properly taken care of in the lower levels. You don't start reaping the benefits until you get in the military, when you're actually a colonel. That's it. Everything else you're expendable. And they make sure every day that you know it. So with the funding of the military, I actually say this is that, you know what, a big portion of that fund could be dropped out. I think every foot soldier, everybody that's actually been deployed or actually going to deploy, or the ones who haven't been deployed, everybody wears the damn uniform. I think we would much kick in money of our own self to pay to help the VA and receive benefits from the military quicker. They don't have to wait a year when they come back in country. They would have to wait for their benefits that they rightly deserve. I think the funding should come from the grassroots level, or there should be a funding level of the grassroots to come and say, you know what, here's my money. I'm a veteran, or I am a soldier, sailor, Marine, flyboy, whatever the hell you are. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean pick on there for it. But anyway, here's $20. Now, I'll give you this $20 if you can show me where it goes to benefit one of my fellow soldiers who did not make it home with all his parts. Or I'll give you this $20. Can you show me where this $20 is going to go so I can help out his family for the ones that didn't come home? I don't know too much on the military. I don't know how much too much. All I know is one thing. It's that if we ain't got it, you better have it. Because I've been up against some bitches and they're coming and they ain't gonna quit. So that's my idea on the military. And we're glamorized. Yeah, I'll have to agree with that because this is our duty. This is what we do. The majority of the veterans that I know that have been saluted as heroes, and they don't want it. They don't want that. They don't want to be treated. They like their day in the sun, and right to be recognized, yes. And they love the medals because the fact is that, you know what, it picks up chicks. The main reason why a man wants to get medals is because the fact is when he gets home, he wants to pick up chicks. That's period. It's like penis envy. It's like, you know, well, I got more medals than you do, so guess what? I get it. You know? And then they get so damn specific. Well, that medal don't really mean nothing. They use a grenade. That don't mean nothing. This one here, that's the one you get. Yeah, then they forget about the damn girl. They're talking about shit. Next thing you know, they're talking about. They're arguing with you. Now next time they're talking about which beer they. So we're glamorized. Yes. Overused. Yes. Because the fact is that look at all those commercials. Be all you can be. See the world. All I know is, guess what? I seen the Philippines. I seen on Westpac. I had a good time doing that, so I did get to see the world. But I didn't know they were going to ship me off to a damn desert. I got to see the desert. Got to know it pretty good, and I damn sure didn't want to meet Hyde. Not one of my people on my favorite watch list. I didn't really want to visit him. But they have a tendency of sending you where you don't want to go. If you want to go somewhere in the military, or somewhere that you want to go, tell them put it as your last freaking choice. They give you a choice of duty station. Put that one as your last one. You have a better shot. Rampant sexism. Okay, here we go. The government of fascist nations tend to almost exclusively male-dominated. Under fascist regimes, traditional gender roles are made more rigid. Opposition to abortion is high. It is a homophobia and anti-gay legislation and natural and tuitional policy. Okay. What they're telling us is that this is the next step. These are steps that we go through that we're not even really imagining. Here are some of the things that are happening right now in front of us, and abortion. Okay. And abortion has been on topic for forever. I'm a man. Okay, I know that. I check every day to make sure. I don't get up every day and go through and lost my balls. That's one thing I take pretty serious is my balls. I make sure I got them wherever I go. I beat the hell out of anybody trying to tell them to take them from me. Good brutal fall. I don't know where you side on abortion or whatever, but however, the fact is I'm a man and it ain't my right to decide. Unless I'm willing to carry that baby for 9 months and go through all the things that a woman's going to have to go through, then I ain't got no call in that. If she decides to have the baby, then guess what? I support it the best way I can. If she decides to have an abortion, then I'm responsible for actually helping her achieve that goal, even though I may not agree with it. That's a decision she has to make on her own, and she'll ask for your input, but that's her decision. Period. Now, on the flip side of that coin, all these abortion clinics and everything like that, if I ever hear again, or since I've heard about this selling baby parts and shit like that, that's where I got to draw the line. Some people say that conception is when someone starts life. I don't know. Okay, that argument has been going on between scientists all over. When is it actually a living form? It's not my decision. It's that woman's decision to decide when that baby is actually come to full life and what she's capable of doing if she needs to get an abortion, how soon or how far. We need to back out of that situation. We need to have it available when we want there, because if you don't, you're going to have a lot of women going to, like they did in the 40s and the 50s, and they're going to into the back rooms, and they're going to get hangers, and they're going to actually kill more babies and kill more women because of that. Because the case of the fact of the matter is that what we have to realize is that every woman who gets pregnant is not capable at that point in time to be a mother. A woman will decide to have a baby when she wants to, and she'll be ready for it. She will have thought it out. That's my stance on abortion. It ain't none of my damn business. I can suggest what I want you to do, but I can't tell you. Homophobia, homophobic, or whatever, I don't know. That's another term that they just throw out there all the time. You're homophobic. Oh, homophobic. I don't even know what the hell that means. What, do you don't like gay people? Well, you know what? I met gay people, and you know what? My thing about this is, I know I stutter when I say it, but I mean it. It's like, you know, I don't really care. I don't care what y'all do in the back of in your own house. I don't care. Just like I don't care when Frank and Sally go home. I don't really care if they're hanging off the chandeliers and beating each other with bullwhips. I don't care. Don't kill each other, because I ain't getting up and come getting your ass. And I damn sure want to see Frank coming to work in the morning with damn panties on his body. I don't see that shit. Some things just keep private. But everybody's homophobic because we choose maybe not to agree, or we speak out and we say we don't agree with being bisexual or being gay or being lesbian. We don't agree with that. It's not in our beliefs. Okay, great. It ain't none of your damn business. Particularly if I'm offended. I don't like to see two boys kissing in public. I don't like to see that. I like to see them holding hands. But I had to get used to it in Afghanistan, because every Thursday was Man Love Thursday. And they all brought their boyfriends out on Thursday. They all held hands and they kissed. I can't tell you how many times I took a spit on that. Oh, dang. I don't want to see that shit. So being homophobic, I guess that means that, you know what, then you are choosing for others how they're going to perform sexually. Well, that's none of your damn business. It ain't none of your right to say. It ain't you get your right to say that I don't agree with it, but it ain't your damn right to get in somebody's business and step on their human rights. This is the problem that we're facing when we start triggering this fascism. The fact is that we forget that other people have human rights as well. But the plain fact of the matter is that we've become so soft and so scared that we're going to say something wrong that we can't even talk to each other anymore. We are afraid that we're going to say something that offends somebody. I don't know where the word offense comes from. I don't know where the translation comes, or whatever. But it seems like to me a whole lot of damn people today are offended about shit. They get up in the morning and they find something to be offended by. Now, people like me, I put a notch in my belt every time I offend somebody. Because what that means is, by your admitting, if you're offended by something and you don't have an open up mind to understand somebody else, and guess what? You're closed-minded. And I don't want to really talk about closed-minded people. I want people to have ideas, people to think. People look outside the box. That's what I hang out with. So, The issue basically with abortion, I think I've covered. Homophobia, gay and lesbians, you know, they put that out as a policy or whatever. That we know in Nazi Germany when the fascists started taking over and every, you know, being lesbian or homosexual, it's, you can be killed for it. It's so far against the law that you can actually be in Iraq, and then in some of the Muslim countries, they take all the gay people that they caught, they put them up on a building and push them off the damn chair. Or they go rent a damn bucket and they hang the bucket over and they hang people by that and get 3 or 4 on that one damn bucket. So if you're gay or lesbian, guess what? And you're thinking that you don't have the civil rights there that you want to, look, it can get worse. I laugh at the fact that lesbians and are people who support being gay and being lesbian or whatever you want to call bisexual. What, I don't know, whatever that, all the terms, I don't know. But anyway, they support Muslims, and they're saying, well, they got to let them in, we got to do this or whatever. I beg to ask the question of you: have you realized what they're going to do when they get here to you eventually? It's just a way that this religion works. Is that they recruit people to be behind you when they need you. When they don't need you and you're an abomination, then they get rid of you. And the way they get rid of you, it ain't pretty. So that's something maybe you should think about. Last thing I want to cover: controlled mass media. Okay, I can go on and on about this. I may have to make another video for this. But anyway, sometimes the media is directly controlled by the government, but in other cases, the media is indirectly controlled by government regulation or sympathetic media spokespeople and executives. Censorship, especially in wartime, is very common. Okay, let's see where this started. Okay, in Vietnam, the early years of Vietnam, reporters were allowed free access to the front lines. They would actually be able to go and see the combat, get as close to combat as they wanted to. The officers in charge would tell, I can't guarantee your safety. You go on your own. They went. They were filming individuals who were being shot. They were filming firefights. They were showing what the actual war was looking like. Casualties and all. Well, somewhere during those years, Mr. Nixon decided, well, the American people don't need to be seeing that. Which begs the question for me: okay, the American people don't be seeing that. Why in the hell do we have to be? Why the hell does anybody in the military have to see it either? Well, that's, you're in the military, that's what you signed up for. Yeah, but I think maybe, you know what I'm going through, maybe the American people can kind of take a look at it and see what the hell I'm fighting for, see what he's fighting for. In order for that censorship, what happened is they stopped allowing anybody to go toward the front lines with press credentials, whatever. The individuals who were actually working for news networks, who were actually doing some reporting, would actually sneak on helicopters or ask certain pilots to join their helicopters so they could really report what's really going on. These individuals ended up being allowed the job of being fired. Most of the work that they did was sold to European news agencies across the board. Hell, it had to work. America shut it down. That's the first sign that I saw of censorship in my time. Now, we go on a few years, keep on going a few years, and then guess what? It's showing up, it blows up its face again. Iraq War. Press were actually assigned boxes. You couldn't get out of this. You were not able to take pictures of tanks going by or the deployment of troops or anything, or you couldn't even actually go into battle and see what was actually really going on. You were banned. If you were a reporter, you were banned from certain areas. You couldn't cross a line. Now, is that true about censorship? Well, a lot of people will agree and say, you know what, I don't want to see that shit on my TV. Okay, turn it off. Turn it off. We have the ability that we seem to have forgotten about to whether we can actually monitor what comes into our environment. If we don't agree with it or we don't like it, we can always push a button nowadays. We can always get away from it on our cell phones. We can actually not allow them some bitches to send us any more videos. We can do that. But damn it, if we don't do it, we try to sit out there and say, well, they're just censorship. Okay, then what are you going to do about it? That's the case that I have right now with all this about the fascism thing. And the reason why that I have a problem is that the media now, if you look at it right now and you tell me that it's not censored, if you tell me that you're getting the same news that you're getting from 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and it's not slanted, or it's not just with sound bites, and you don't really hear the rest of the story, and slap me and call me a liar. I'm getting tired of hearing the same old narrative come over the TV every damn day. The world's coming to an end. All this, we're going to indict somebody, we're going to do this. The media is involved in every damn little thing that don't make no damn bit of difference. Please, if you listen, if you have a question, please answer me this one question in this video. Okay, and we'll end up on the media. Please tell me, with all this media coverage, please tell me as much coverage as Trey Gowdy gets and Jordan gets on these committees, ripping these guys new assholes, okay? How many has he indicted? How many has even gone before a grand jury? You can guarantee and you can bet your ass he's going to be reelected for at least 3 more terms just based on this performance that he's giving right now. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. If somebody breaks the law, or somebody, and you have evidence that you're saying that you have in your hand, put it in front of the grand jury and let them decide. That's what our system does. We don't allow Congress to determine guilt or innocence. We want Congress to get the evidence and present it to a grand jury so then it can get, then if it wants a crime, go on trial. I know each and every one of you, if you were driving down a damn highway and it was 65 and you were doing 75, you damn straight you're going to get a ticket. Today's world, you ain't going to get a warning. The warnings are gone. You're going to get a ticket. And within 3 to 4, well, within 2 months, probably in the real world, here in Texas, about 8 to 9 months, you'll get a message and saying, you know what, you need to appear in court. And you got to go. There's a system for us regular people. What happens if you don't go to court when you're supposed to? They come get you. Yeah, they got one of them little warning things they throw at you. They come get your ass. We ain't sent out one damn warrant. With all the pedophiles, with all the damn corrupt politicians, the ones that are resigning now, and the ones that are not running for office all of a sudden, they done something. They're getting out while they're getting good. And we're letting it happen. We are letting these things happen because we don't want. Because we don't want to address bad news. We don't. We as a people have not decided that we are going to actually stand up to Congress and say, do your damn job. Congress has a 5% approval rating. Do you understand what that means? That's probably about the approval rating I get on my YouTube. But they're in the government. So tell me, as I said in my other video, please tell me when we start paying attention. One of these things that you look at and you start thinking about those. This is on the internet too. You can look it up. I'll tell you in a minute. And if you just use your noodle and you just look at it and say, okay, here's fascism, here's where we're at. It's going to start kind of mingling there a little bit. And the first thing that we notice in a fascist country when it turns is the fact is the last people to know that they're a fascist nation is the people. They look around, and I have documented it yesterday. I read a lot of stories on fascism. A lot of people talking about the first years of Nazism and Mussolini, the Italians. So we just started going along. Then it being social circles, we had to go along a little bit more. So we just kept going on a little more. And then when they look back at it, in our interview, when they look back at it, they said, damn, we didn't even see it. We didn't see it coming. The truth of the matter is that the fact is that Most of the German population didn't even know about concentration camps. The ones that lived right to the concentration camps, where ashes was falling on their damn city, were led to believe that it was snowing out of season. By who? The media and the government and the propaganda. Just goes to prove we'll believe anything. We'll believe anything on the news. If it comes up, it's on the news. My God, it's true. Let me go tell our friends. Then they tell their friends. They tell everybody. Next thing you know, it's all across the damn town, all over the county, all over the state. Because what? Somebody said something on the news. The media is a very powerful tool. And it's being used today to develop and control your mindset and your feelings one way or the other. The lines have already been drawn. Conservative, CNN, Fox, conservative Fox, I'm sorry. Liberalism, CNN, they already draw their lines. So now you got a fight between them. Who's going to win? I don't know, but it's a damn good show. I have to watch and look at stuff. I really have to make a very valid effort to look at stuff that's going on today, and I have to actually look at it without laughing. It's gotten that freaking funny. Most people look at politics, they look at all these issues that we're going through today, they say, you know what? It's terrible. Terrible. I look at it and I say, I can't believe we've become that stupid. I can't really, well, I do blame the politicians, but see, the politicians do something we never even thought about. They know they can get over on stupid people. And we are not stupid. We just don't say nothing. We allow it to go on and on and on because we're afraid of confronting individuals, and we're afraid too much of what people think about us instead of doing what's right. I can imagine the hill that Martin Luther King had to go up. But he united a people. He united a people to get rights. I don't care what you think about racial or whatever. The man did it right. He was willing to go to jail. He was willing to march against fire hoses. He was even willing to march when they were trying to assassinate. He had many assassination threats. He even got the attention of J. Edgar Hoover because he wouldn't quit. Where are people like that nowadays? Where are people like that nowadays? Who stands up? Who will say that's wrong? Just say that's just wrong. I'm gonna do something about it. Maybe that's something we want to take a look at. Maybe that's something we want to think about a little bit. Hey, you guys have a great one. It's starting late, about 7 o'clock here at my time. Anyway, I got to go get busy cleaning me some guns. So y'all be good. Keep your powder dry. Please hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think. I really welcome comments. I really welcome other people's comments and also their views. Even if you disagree with me, just really cuss me out. I ain't gonna read the rest of it. Like, you know, hell, I heard that shit before. There ain't nothing I ain't been called. Let's put it that way. In every context. So you know what? Whatever you heard over your period of life, you think it's gonna hurt me, it's not. Because you know what? I've been in the Marine Corps, man. I've been called worse than whatever I've been in the Marine Corps. I had a staff sergeant who would get up this morning and find different cuss words to use at me. I didn't even know if they were cuss words or not. He'd have, you know what that is? No, sir, I don't know what the hell that is. I'm doing push-ups the whole damn time or sit-ups. You know what that is? I don't know. He said, well, keep pushing until you freaking figure it out. I used to make up shit to keep pushing. I couldn't make up shit fast enough. Hell, I can't tell you how many push-ups I did or sit-ups I did. It's like, you know, I just fall out. I can't do no more. I can't do no more. You can. Get your ass up. Because if you can't do one more, guess what? You're going to have to get up. You're going to have to answer to me. I'm going to put your ass right back down there, son. Let's do some push-ups. When are you going to sit up and say, you know what, I can do one more? When you say, you know what, I can do one more push-up. I got enough fight in me just to do one more. And hope and pray that those that see you stand up. You stand up for what you believe in. Somebody will see that and respect the shit out of it, and they'll stand up beside you. It's an awesome feeling when you see people who will stand up beside you, and you look right to your left and you look to your right, you can say, you know what, they got my ass no matter what. They believe in the same damn thing I do. We're going to go get it done. It's an awesome thing to witness. Try it. Keep powder dry. We'll pack out.